Hello. I'm just gonna make sure that it's up and running and everything looks okay. Just give me 1 second here. Welcome to day 2 of the challenge. I'm excited for this one because today's task is a quick way to make a big impact on a space. So I'm excited for today's task. Okay, looks like we're up and running, so we'll get started. I'll just kind of wait a minute just to see if anyone wants to join. You'll have to forgive me. My little guy has just a bit of a cold he's getting over, and I think he's trying his best to give it to me, so I just have a little tickle in my throat, so I've got a cough drop in my mouth, and hopefully I can get through this without too much croaking and coughing. So before we started, I wanted to mention again, I talked about this yesterday. If you aren't getting the emails, each morning, very early in the morning, you'll get an email with the daily task and some tips and encouragement to help you get that task done. If you aren't getting those emails, the first thing to do is to check your spam or your junk folder. Sometimes they end up there. You can also search your inbox. I make sure to include the phrase spring into simple in the subject line of all the emails for the challenge. So search spring into simple and see if you can find it that way. If you still can't find it, just send me a message. You can email me. My email is melissa@simplelionheartlife.com, and I will definitely make sure we can get you on the list if you're not already on the list, and figure out why they're not getting to you if you are. So also, if you joined late, the emails are scheduled to send by time zone, so they start like tomorrow's email has already started sending to some time zones. So if you join late, you might miss, the first few. So again, just send me an email, just let me know, and I can resend those to you. So make sure you're getting the emails. If you're not, let me know. I will look into it and we'll make sure you get them. So that's the first thing I always like to mention these first couple days. Okay, today's task is all about surface clutter. So the goal today is another quick decluttering win. We want another high impact decluttering project that's gonna really make a difference in your space and encourage you to keep going, to continue doing this, to see the results of your work right away and know that it's making a difference. So we're gonna continue building your confidence to show you that decluttering doesn't have to be so hard. You can do this, just keep going. We're gonna build your momentum again, just another project, more progress that you can really see. And we're gonna keep your motivation going. So the more you see the results of your work, the more you feel motivated to keep going, because it feels really good to see those nice clutter-free spaces. So today is all about surface clutter. So the flat surfaces in your home can often become magnets for clutter. Stuff just tends to end up on those flat surfaces, and it can add visual clutter to your space. It makes your space look messy, and it can just make things feel a little chaotic when there's a bunch of stuff on all the surfaces. And the other thing is, clutter tends to attract more clutter. So you put like 1 or 2 things on your counter, let's say. It almost seems like you're giving yourself permission to put a few more things on the surface. And then before you know it, there's a whole bunch of stuff to deal with, and it feels overwhelming, it feels stressful, it feels annoying, all these things. So clutter often attracts more clutter. So the less you can have on a space, the easier it is to keep that flat surface clean and clutter-free. So clearing the surface clutter changes the way the room looks. It looks a lot cleaner, tidier, more clutter-free, open, lighter. It changes the way it feels, and it changes the way it functions, because a lot of those surfaces are surfaces you need to use, like your kitchen counters. It can be really frustrating when you're trying to cook or clean up and there's a bunch of stuff all over the place. So we're going to change the look, the feel, and the function of whatever surface you pick. So for today's task, I want you to pick one flat surface in your home, and we're going to work on clearing the clutter off of it, and then we're going to work on keeping it clear throughout the challenge. So I encourage you to pick a flat surface that kind of is a problem spot for you, somewhere that always tends to end up cluttered or always causes you a lot of stress. I think we all have these surfaces in our homes where everything just gets dumped. It just always ends up there. So let's tackle one of those spots. It could be your kitchen counters, your dining table, an entryway table, maybe your coffee table, your end tables, your bedside table, your desk, whatever flat surface it is. Just pick one that kind of stresses you out because it often ends up cluttered, and let's work on it today. So when I start a task like this, I like to start by clearing the surface off completely. Start with a blank slate. And then once I've cleared it off, I sort through the stuff that I've removed. I get rid of what I no longer need, get rid of the garbage. If there's stuff to donate, put it in your holding zone. Put things away where they belong. If they don't belong on that surface, put them away where they do belong. And then reassess what you usually keep on the surface. Because we know that stuff tends to attract more stuff. Is there things you could simplify? Could you put stuff somewhere else so it's not out on your surface, so it's less stuff attracting more stuff? Could you just, maybe declutter? Could you simplify? Just assess if you really need all of that stuff on the surface, or if you could just have a little less in general. And then from there, once you get it clutter-free, let's work on keeping it clutter-free. So just getting in the habit of every day, taking a few minutes to get rid of the clutter. If you do it every day, it doesn't have a chance to build up and get really out of control, so it's a lot easier and it takes less time. The more often you do it, the easier it gets. And we're just building a new habit of keeping it clutter-free throughout the challenge, just keeping that kind of top of mind. If you have time or energy, you can pick another flat surface. I encourage you to pick a surface that's not too big to start with, something that's kind of contained, just so that you can start and finish it in your 15 to 30 minutes. So even if it's just one section of your kitchen counter, that's good. Start there. If time and energy allows, keep going. Do some more of the counters. Do whatever works for you. But I encourage you to pick one surface that you can start and finish today. And then as you're sorting through the stuff to clear the clutter off of it, I also encourage you to stop and just kind of notice what kinds of clutter tends to build up there. What kind of stuff are you dealing with? And then see if there's a better system you could use to prevent it from happening again. So if it's like you have a pile of paperwork on your kitchen counter all the time, could you come up with a better system for paperwork? Maybe you'd have a basket to keep it all contained and give you a limit, like you can only collect this much and then you have to deal with it. Or maybe it's like a hanging file on the wall. Again, like a place to put it all, but a limited space so it can't get out of control before you have to deal with it. If it's maybe your entryway table, maybe you want hooks on the wall for keys, maybe you want a basket for gloves and hats. Hopefully we're at the end of that, but like the gear that you come in and take off and dump. Maybe it's a place for shoes, a place for your purse, a place for change, whatever it is. Could you come up with a better system to deal with that? So it's doing a little problem solving and brainstorming here to think, what kind of clutter is building up and how can I prevent that from happening in the future? So that's a good way to help keep your surface clear, is taking those few minutes to notice what kind of clutter is there, what kind of clutter built up, what can I do to avoid that? So that's today's task. So keep sharing in the group. I find it so encouraging to see these beautiful clutter-free surfaces. So if you do today's task and want to share a picture, that would be so great. It would be so encouraging for everyone. We can cheer you on. You can also tag me on Instagram if you want. I'm at Simple Lionheart Life. So I can't wait to see this. This is a really high impact task because you can see the difference right away. As soon as you have that surface cleared, you can see the difference it makes. And so it's really motivating, really encouraging. So I'm excited to see the work you do. I guess I will leave you there for today. I don't want to chat too long because I'd rather you spend the time decluttering than listening to me. So I'll leave you to it to get decluttering those surfaces. I also wanted to mention before I go that it's not too late for people to join. If you have friends or family who you'd like to share this challenge with, let them know. There's still time to join, and I can always resend the first few emails so they don't miss out. So yeah, if there's anyone you think could benefit, I would love to have them join us. So feel free to share. And yeah, keep sharing what you're working on in the group. I'll be back tomorrow to do the same thing, another little live chat about the task we're working on at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you can join me, that would be great. If not, I will save the replay in the Facebook group, and I'm also posting them to YouTube as well. And the link for that is in the emails and in the group, so that you can watch them either place, whichever is easier for you. So happy decluttering. I can't wait to see those clear surfaces, and we will see you again tomorrow. Take care, everybody.